Hey, what's up guys? So today we are going to be doing a new segment called Cards That Never Made It, and that would be something like Dark Samorg. When this card first came out in Stars Overdrive, this card was actually about $100. It was a very expensive card, but it never really saw any play as far as in the meta. I'm sure multiple people have tried the deck, but the thing is, when this card came out, the most popular decks at the time were Blackwings as well as Lightsworns. And with Stars Overdrive, the other card came out that was really good in the set was Arsword Christia. Now, Arsword Christia could be splashed in, Lightsworns. I've seen, Christia Sworns. It was a pretty successful deck. It did top multiple times. And that said, let's go ahead and check out Dark Samorg's effect, and let's kind of check him out, because he did get reprinted in a tin, and no one really played him at all. But that said, let's go check him out. So, while face up on the field, this card is also Win attribute. You can banish one Dark monster and one Wind monster from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. You can banish one Dark monster and one Wind monster from your hand to special summon this card from your graveyard. Your opponent cannot set any cards. Oops. It won't let me scroll down. Your opponent. Your opponent cannot set any cards on the field. So basically, it makes it so they can only play, monsters that could have effects essentially, or spells essentially. But that said, at the time there was no tour guide. There was no quick out to a 2700 attacker, other than something like maybe like Gale could have that thing. If you just, normal summoned any other Blackwing than Gale and halved it, and you could pretty much run over some more. So that's probably a reason why he didn't really see much play. But also with Lightsworn didn't really set too much. The only cards Lightsworn really set were Raikou. And at that time, I believe Charge Light Brigade was at 3, and Kalut was also at 3. So, I mean, Dark Samorg didn't really prove a threat to, these were probably the top decks. I think Zombies were also popular short after, or maybe during the same time that Dark Samorg came out. But there was another card that actually comboed pretty well with Dark Samorg. That'd be Anti-Spell Fragrance. So both players must set spell cards before activating them and cannot activate them until their next turn. So that said, since Dark Samorg makes it so your opponent cannot set cards, that'd make it so your opponent couldn't use spells essentially, and they couldn't set monsters. Now, setting monsters wasn't really too popular, honestly, but making it so your opponent couldn't set traps, hey, that was pretty good, especially when Book was at 3. Book of Moon was at 3. I don't know if Book of Moon was really meta at that time, but yeah, Book of Moon was a pretty good card. But at that time, priority still existed, so I mean, Judgment Dragon can still priority blow up the field. But that said, yeah, Judgment Dragon just didn't care about Dark Samorg, and I don't think Blackwings really were afraid of this card either. And I don't know, I think Zombies would be hurt by this if Zombies were meta at the time. But I really feel like Dark Samorg, I mean, I don't think it's that great of a card during that time. But now looking at how far the meta has gone, certain decks could make use of this. I know perhaps Dragoonides could make use of this card. Because, just getting out a large monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now, it's pretty good. If you've played against Murma Atlanteans, Catastor is a quick out to anything that's stronger than 2400, because their basic play is Abyss Megalo, and when you can get something over that, and they've already exhausted a lot of their cards, and if they don't draw Avarice relatively soon, you can beat them, because most of their back row is not really anything to worry about. And on top of that, they cannot set cards, so that means no setting Sphere, so that's pretty decent, but I don't know what decks can really make use of Dark Samorg. I don't think that the lock, which was like, you can use Anti-Spell Fragrance plus Dark Samorg, is, really that necessary. I feel like Dark Samorg, just to get him out for the 2700 attack, isn't that bad. So, maybe you guys can revisit some of these cards that we'll be discussing and kind of talk about that, cards that never really took off. Like I said, this card was $100 when it first came out, and now look at it. Well, I'm sure these are like probably the tin promos that are 99 cents. I'm sure that you can find the secret rare for like a few dollars. But yeah, this is just a card that was really popular as far as everyone wanted to grab this card, but then it never really took off. It just never made it into the meta of Yu-Gi-Oh, which is kind of strange. I thought that at least someone would be able to make some more use of Dark Samorg. You can actually ninja into a Samorg too, which is hilarious. But yeah, obviously with the Super Transformation art, it's just unnecessary. But yeah, pretty decent card. I think that it's Winged Beast. You can use Icarus attack with it. But I don't know. I feel like if it was just manage 2 dark monsters to get him out, he'd be just really good in Blackwings. Just attack 1. It'd be a lot better. But because it requires a wind and dark, I'm not sure too many decks that just run wind and dark in combination at the moment. But wind will be coming out, in the next few sets. I think they're gonna make the Elemental a Wind Lord, and we've already got all the water support. We got the Malin Glacier. We I think in Cosmo Blazer we're getting the Pyrorex, the Elemental Lord, and we're getting all that fire, all those fire cards that are coming out. So maybe Darksumorg might see some play in the future with those the new wind archetype, or yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll make an archetype because they're making like the Fire King. They just released the water structure deck, and they're going to release a fire one soon, and then I think next up is going to be wind. But yeah, pretty decent card. But maybe if you guys know some cool combos with Darksumorg, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe we can make a Darksumorg deck. I think I did before. I don't know though. But anyways, thanks for watching. Asian Ice signing out.